Welcome back to a new video. In this series, we explore creatures that play a central role to famous myths, often involved with heroes or gods. After the gods had settled their rule, they interacted with mortals and gave rise to monsters, myths, and guardians. This video is about all the creatures. We start off with Cerberus, the Hound of Hades, the three-headed sentinel of the underworld. A creature born not of malice, but of duty. Most people know Cerberus as the beast who blocks the gates of death. But Cerberus is more than just a monster. He is loyalty, boundary, and the law of return. He is the growl that warns. The dead do not walk among the living, and the living must not trespass where they don't belong. Cerberus symbolizes guardianship and order. Where chaos lurks, Cerberus holds the line. Not every guardian wears armor. Some bear fangs and bark at the threshold. He teaches that even monsters can serve purpose, that some gates must stay closed. He also symbolizes loyalty and bond. Cerberus never strayed from his post. He served Hades without question. Not out of fear, but of unshakable loyalty. He reminds us that loyalty, even when fearsome, is sacred. The last thing he symbolizes is the boundary between worlds. Cerberus stands between life and death, between what was and what must be. He is the final warning, the one who tells us there is no escape from fate. Origins and family. Cerberus was not born alone. He was the child of Echidna, the mother of monsters, and Typhon, the chaos storm. His siblings were no less terrifying: the Hydra, the Chimera, Orthrus, and the Nemean lion. But Cerberus had a purpose all his own. He was given to Hades, not as a weapon, but as a gatekeeper. In the realm of shadows and shades, he stood watch at the river Styx. 3 heads, a serpent for a tail, and eyes that never closed. Myths and stories involving Cerberus. Myth number 1, Heracles and the Final Labor. The most famous tale of Cerberus comes with Heracles. His 12th labor, to descend into the underworld and return with the hound. But Hades made a condition: Heracles could not use weapons. So the hero wrestled the beast barehanded. And for a moment, Cerberus left his post. But not for long. Even strength bows before duty. Myth number 2, Orpheus and the Power of Song. When Orpheus sought to bring his wife back from the dead, he sang, not to the gods, but to Cerberus. And the hound, the fearsome, many-eyed beast, lay down and slept. Even terror listens to beauty. Even guardians can be soothed. Myth number 3, Aeneas and the Sibyl's Path. The Roman hero Aeneas, too, met Cerberus. But with him came the Sibyl, and a honey cake laced with magic. Cerberus ate and slept, allowing the living to pass. But always, he returned to his post, because death doesn't sleep forever, and the gate always closes behind. Worship and depiction. Cerberus was not worshipped in temples, but he haunted the imagination of poets and painters. In vase art, mosaics, and marble, he is drawn with 3 heads, snarling or watchful. Sometimes more. Sometimes his mane is snakes. Sometimes his breath is poison. But always, he is there, at the threshold. He reminds us that some monsters are not villains, some beasts are not wild, and some horrors are sacred. The next one is Chimera, a fire-breathing beast of nightmare and wonder, born not for protection, but for destruction. Most people know the Chimera as a hybrid horror: a lion's body, a goat's head on its back, and a serpent for a tail. But the Chimera is more than just a monstrous fusion. She is chaos given form. She is the terror that cannot be reasoned with. She is the disaster that comes uninvited. The Chimera symbolizes chaos and unnatural power. She defies the natural order. Lion, goat, and snake, 3 lives fused into one. Not a creature of evolution, but of defiance. She teaches us that when power is unchecked, it devours. She also symbolizes fear and omen. To see the chimera was to see doom. Ancient sailors believed her sight foretold volcanic eruptions. She was not just a monster. She was the warning before disaster. A symbol that not all threats can be fought. Some must be endured. The last thing she symbolizes is the unconquerable trial. Many monsters were puzzles, or guardians, or punishments. But the chimera was something else. A trial by fire. To face her was not to seek reward, but survival. Origins and family. The chimera was born of terror. Her mother, Echidna, the mother of monsters. Her father, Typhon, the storm that almost unseated Zeus himself. Her siblings were nightmares in their own right. Cerberus, the Hydra, the Nemean lion, and more. But the chimera was different. She wasn't a guardian, or a challenge sent by the gods. She was wild, rampaging. A fire that had no master. She lived in Lycia, in the rugged mountains of what is now Turkey. There, she scorched the land. Burning crops, slaying livestock, devouring men. No one could stand against her. Until a hero was sent. Myths and stories involving the chimera. Bellerophon and Pegasus. King Iobates commanded Bellerophon to slay the chimera. A task meant to kill him. But the gods gave Bellerophon a gift. Pegasus, the winged horse. From the skies, Bellerophon rained arrows. But they bounced off her hide. So he dove close and drove a spear into her throat. A spear tipped with lead. And when she breathed fire, the lead melted and burned her from the inside. The chimera fell. But legends say, the land where she died still smokes. Worship and depiction. The chimera wasn't worshipped. She wasn't honored. She was feared. But artists could not look away. On vases, in mosaics, in stone. She appears in pieces. A lion's roar. A goat's scream. A serpent's hiss. Sometimes winged. Sometimes draped in flames. Always wrong. Always terrifying. A creature stitched from danger. She reminds us that some threats are not sent to test us. They are born to end us. The third one is Hydra, the multi-headed serpent of Lerna. A creature not of mere flesh, but of poison, regeneration, and death. Most people know the Hydra as the beast with many heads. Cut one off, and 2 more take its place. But the Hydra is more than just a deadly puzzle. It is persistence. It is escalation. It is the lesson that brute force alone cannot solve every problem. The Hydra symbolizes regeneration and unstoppable threat. What makes the Hydra terrifying is not its strength, but its refusal to die. Every strike made it worse. Every victory bred another challenge. It is the fear that some problems only multiply when faced head-on. He also symbolizes poison and corruption. Its breath was venom. Its blood, lethal even in death. Its very presence tainted the land. The Hydra teaches that some dangers seep into everything. Unseen, unspoken, and devastating. The last thing he symbolizes is trial and strategy. To face the Hydra was not just a test of might, but of mind. It forced the hero to adapt, to learn, to fight smarter or perish. Origins and family. Like so many monsters, the Hydra was born of chaos. Its mother, Echidna, the mother of monsters. Its father, Typhon, the storm that shook Olympus. It was the sibling of Cerberus, the chimera, and the Nemean lion. But unlike them, it did not roam. It waited. In the marshes of Lerna, a land already steeped in mystery and death. Some say Hera herself raised the Hydra. not as a guardian, but as a trap, a revenge against Heracles, the favorite of Zeus. And there it lay, many-headed, venomous, immortal. Myths and stories involving the Hydra. Heracles in the second labor. As his second labor, Heracles was sent to slay the Hydra. He found it in the swamps, coiled, watching, hissing. But when he struck, he learned its secret. Cut off one head, and two more grew in its place. With every blow, the danger doubled, until he called for aid. His nephew, Iolaus, brought fire. Together, they burned each stump after cutting. No new heads grew. At last, Heracles cut the immortal head, the one that would not die, and buried it beneath a massive stone. But even in death, the Hydra had its revenge. Heracles dipped his arrows in its blood. They would later slay enemies, and doom them as well. The Hydra's poison would live on, long after its body was gone. Worship and depiction. The Hydra was not worshipped, but it haunted the minds of poets and painters. On pottery and sculpture, it coils endlessly, sometimes with 5 heads, sometimes 9, or even 50. Always snarling, always multiplying. In Roman mosaics and Greek carvings, it is locked in eternal battle with Heracles. A battle of blade versus breath, of fire versus fangs. The Hydra reminds us that some monsters aren't obstacles. They're reflections of persistence, of rage, of the consequences we try to cut out, but never truly solve. The fourth one is Minotaur, the beast of the labyrinth, born of shame and turned into a curse. Most people know the Minotaur as the monster Theseus slays. But the Minotaur is more than a villain. He is punishment, isolation, and the shadow of broken vows. He is the breath in the dark that asks, what happens when we hide our sins instead of facing them? The Minotaur symbolizes punishment and consequence. The Minotaur was not evil by choice. He was born because of a king's defiance and a god's wrath. He reminds us, the gods do not forget, and some punishments echo through bloodlines. He also symbolizes isolation and identity. Trapped in a maze he never asked for. Feared for what he looked like, not who he was. The Minotaur became the monster they told him he must be. He shows us the pain of being hidden away, and the tragedy of a name never given. The last thing he symbolizes is humanity and monstrosity. Half man, half bull, entirely misunderstood. He is the question at the heart of myth. Where does the man end, and the monster begin? Sometimes, the difference lies not in form, but in how the world treats you. Origins and family. The Minotaur's birth is a tale of pride and deception. King Minos of Crete prayed for a sign from Poseidon. The god sent a magnificent white bull, meant to be sacrificed. But Minos kept it. And so, Poseidon cursed his house. The queen, Pasiphae, was made to desire the bull. And from this unnatural union, the Minotaur was born. His name was never spoken. They called him Asterion once. But history remembers only the Minotaur, the bull of Minos. Ashamed, Minos ordered Daedalus to build a prison. Not bars, but a labyrinth. A maze so winding, no one who entered could escape. And in its center, the child of sin became a beast of hunger. Myths and stories involving the Minotaur. Myth number 1, the tribute of Athens. After Minos' son died in Athens, the king demanded retribution. Every 9 years, Athens sent 7 youths and 7 maidens to be fed to the Minotaur. It was not justice. It was vengeance dressed as ritual. And every year, the labyrinth claimed more lives. Myth number 2, Theseus and the thread. The hero Theseus volunteered to end the slaughter. He entered the labyrinth with nothing but a sword and a thread. Ariadne, daughter of Minos, had given it to him. She betrayed her father for love. And for hope. Theseus found the Minotaur in the dark. And fought not just a beast, but the shame of a kingdom. With blood and breath, the labyrinth fell silent. But the Minotaur didn't beg. Didn't speak. Because monsters, in the end, are not allowed to be tragic. Only slain. Worship and depiction. The Minotaur was never worshipped. But his image haunted the Mediterranean world. On walls, in mosaics, carved into marble. A man with the head of a bull. Sometimes rampaging. Sometimes chained. Always lost. He appears in Roman tales, in Renaissance paintings. And in the silent fear of becoming what others say you are. He is not just a cautionary tale. He is a mirror. A reminder that what we lock away does not vanish. It grows teeth. The next one is Medusa, the serpent-haired woman whose gaze turned men to stone. A creature feared by heroes, but forged by betrayal. Most people know Medusa as a monster to be slain. But Medusa is more than a head on a shield. She is beauty turned into weapon. She is trauma, vengeance, and silence. She is the voice that was taken, and the power that remained. Medusa symbolizes violation and transformation. Medusa was not always a monster. She was once a mortal woman. A priestess of Athena, devoted and pure. But Poseidon saw her beauty and claimed her in Athena's temple. Instead of justice, Athena gave punishment. Not to the god, but to the girl. She transformed Medusa. Her hair to snakes. Her gaze to stone. Her body into exile. And so, beauty became danger. And innocence became myth. She also symbolizes feminine rage and power. Medusa became a force. Not because she wanted to, but because the world gave her no choice. Her gaze punished those who dared to look. She reminds us, what is feared is often misunderstood. And what is monstrous is often made, not born. The last thing she symbolizes is the mirror of fear. To look at Medusa was to face your own death. To turn to stone. Not by accident, but by reflection. She is the question carved into every hero's path. Can you face what you fear without being destroyed by it? Origins and family. Medusa was one of the Gorgons. But unlike her sisters, Stheno and Euryale, Medusa was mortal. That made her vulnerable. That made her dangerous. Born to see deities Phorcys and Ceto, Medusa stood apart. The only one who could die. And the only one the world chose to hate. After her transformation, she fled to the edges of the earth. To caves and shadows. Where no man dared follow. Until a hero came. Myths and stories involving Medusa. Myth number 1, Perseus and the Gorgon's head. Perseus, son of Zeus, was sent to kill Medusa. A gift for a king. He could not face her directly. So he used a mirrored shield, gifted by Athena. He watched her only in reflection. And struck. Her head was severed. But her power lived on. Even in death, her eyes turned stone. Perseus used her head as a weapon. Against kings, monsters, and truth. Myth number 2, Pegasus from blood. When Medusa died, from her neck sprang life. Pegasus, the winged horse. And Chrysaor, the golden giant. Her death became a birth. From pain, came wonder. Even in destruction, she created. Myth number 3, Medusa's face on Athena's shield. Athena took Medusa's head and set it on her aegis. A symbol of terror. But also of power. The goddess who once cursed her now wore her as armor. A paradox. An icon. A warning. Worship and depiction. Medusa was not worshipped in temples. but she was revered in symbols. In ancient Greece, her face appeared on armor, doorways, and coins. Not to inspire fear, but to ward off evil. The Gorgonian became a protective emblem. Because even monsters can protect. Even pain can become shield. In art, Medusa changes across time. From grotesque to mournful. From demon to martyr to feminist icon. A story retold. Each time with different eyes. The sixth one is Pegasus, the winged horse of Olympus. A creature not of rage, but of freedom. Most people know Pegasus as a noble steed, the one who flies. But Pegasus is more than wings and wind. He is inspiration. He is purity. He is the bridge between earth and sky. He is the reminder that even from blood, something radiant can be born. Pegasus symbolizes freedom and flight. Pegasus is the spirit unchained. He cannot be bound by land or war. Only the sky calls to him. He represents the yearning to rise above. Above struggle, above sorrow, above fate. He reminds us, some souls were never meant to walk, but to soar. He also symbolizes inspiration in poetry. Where Pegasus strikes the earth, a spring flows, not of water, but of muse and mind. He is the breath that stirs the poet's pen, the flash of thought before the first word. Pegasus is not just a creature. He is a spark. The last thing he symbolizes is divine heritage and mortal connection. Though born of gods, Pegasus serves men. Though touched by heaven, he gallops on earth. He is the harmony of both, the meeting point between divine and human. He shows us that nobility lies not in birth, but in what you choose to carry. Origins and family. Pegasus was born in blood, but rose in light. When the hero Perseus slew Medusa, her head struck the ground, and from her neck, Pegasus sprang forth. Winged, untamed, a creature born not of violence, but from the release of it. His brother, Chrysaor, was born alongside him, a golden warrior. But Pegasus flew away from death, into myth. Some say he flew to Olympus at once. Others, that he roamed the wild skies alone, until called by destiny. Myths and stories involving Pegasus. Myth number 1, Pegasus and Bellerophon. The hero Bellerophon longed to ride the winged horse. But Pegasus could not be captured by strength. Only purity could approach him. So Bellerophon prayed to Athena, and she gave him a golden bridle. With it, he tamed the sky. Together, they battled the Chimera, a fire-breathing terror of lion, goat, and serpent. They soared above its flames, and struck from the air. Pegasus became more than steed. He became partner. Myth number 2, the fall of Bellerophon. But pride follows glory, and Bellerophon dared too much. He rode Pegasus toward Olympus itself, trying to join the gods. But Pegasus knew the boundary. He threw Bellerophon to earth, not in anger, but in refusal. Some places are not meant for mortals. Some heights must remain sacred. Myth number 3, Pegasus and the Muses. Pegasus struck his hoof upon Mount Helicon, and from that touch, the Hippocrene spring burst forth, a fountain of poetic inspiration. The Muses claimed it, and Pegasus became their symbol. Where he walks, creativity blooms. Where he flies, stories begin. Worship and depiction. Pegasus was not worshipped as a god, but revered as a symbol. In art, he is always in motion. Wings wide, mane wild. Leaping from cliffs, or flying among stars. On coins, on shields, in poetry. Pegasus became the emblem of dreams, of vision, of the impossible made real. In the heavens, he was given a constellation, a reminder that the sky remembers its own. The next one is the Sphinx, the guardian of secrets. A creature of claw, wing, and gaze. Born not to destroy, but to demand understanding. Most people know the Sphinx as the Riddler of Thebes. But she is more than a question. She is trial. She is wisdom with teeth. She is the lesson that not all battles are fought in blood. The Sphinx symbolizes mystery and knowledge. The Sphinx is the riddle that cannot be solved by force. She guards the line between ignorance and truth. To pass her is to grow. To fail is to perish. She reminds us, sometimes survival depends not on strength, but on knowing yourself. She also symbolizes judgment and threshold. The Sphinx waits at the edge of cities, of deserts, of lives. She offers no mercy, only a single question. She is not cruel. She is the test, the guardian of "Are you ready?" The last thing she symbolizes is the cost of unknowing. Those who cannot answer fall, not from malice, but from unpreparedness. The Sphinx teaches that truth must be earned, and that every gate has a price. Origins and family. The Sphinx is one of many children of monsters. She was born to Echidna, the mother of monsters, and Typhon, the chaos storm. Her siblings include Cerberus, the Chimera, and the Hydra. But the Sphinx is different. She does not bite first. She asks. Some say she was sent by the gods, Hera or Ares, to punish Thebes. But others say she was always there, watching, waiting, testing. With the body of a lioness, the wings of an eagle, and the face of a woman, she is contradiction made flesh. Myths and stories involving the Sphinx. Myth, Oedipus and the riddle of Thebes. The city of Thebes was dying. A Sphinx blocked its gates. She asked one question. Only one. To all who passed. What walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs at noon, and 3 in the evening? None had answered. Many had tried. All had died. Until Oedipus came. Not a king. Not yet. Just a wanderer with a wounded past. He listened. He thought. And he answered. Man. As a child, he crawls on 4. As an adult, he walks on 2. In old age, he leans on a cane, 3. The Sphinx said nothing. Then she leapt from the cliff and was gone. But victory is never simple. The riddle was solved. Yet Thebes would still suffer, because some answers bring more questions. Worship and depiction. The Greek Sphinx was feared, but the Egyptian Sphinx was revered. There, she, or he, was a guardian of temples and tombs. Majestic, silent, eternal. In Greece, she crouches on vases, painted in profile. A lion's body beneath a thoughtful face. Her wings curled, her gaze fixed. She does not chase. She waits. In Egypt, the great Sphinx of Giza still watches the desert. Stone and silence. Riddle and monument. The Sphinx is cross-cultural. She is eternal. She is the question at the door. The 8th one is Scylla and Charybdis, the twin terrors of the straits. A beast above, a maw below. Together, they are a lesson in choice and consequence. Most people know them as obstacles in Odysseus' journey, but they are more than hazards. They are fear. They are inevitability. They are what happens when no option is safe, and you must choose anyway. Scylla and Charybdis symbolize no-win situations. Caught between Scylla and Charybdis, you face 2 fates. One brutal, one consuming. you cannot pass untouched. Only decide what you're willing to lose. They remind us that some trials offer no victory, only survival. They also symbolize fear of the unseen. Scylla is terror above. Charybdis, destruction below. One strikes from the shadows. The other pulls you down without warning. They represent what lies beyond control, where skill falters, and fate decides. The last thing they symbolize is consequences of hubris. They live where the sea narrows. A reminder: no matter how far a hero sails, the world still has teeth. Even Odysseus, the clever one, could not outwit them both. Origins and family. Scylla was once beautiful. A sea nymph, perhaps, or the daughter of sea gods. But jealousy transformed her. Some say it was Circe, the sorceress who cursed her for love. Others say Amphitrite, wife of Poseidon, twisted her shape in rage. Now, she clings to the cliffside. 12 legs. 6 long necks. Each with a wolfish head. And rows of teeth sharp enough to snap sailors from the deck. She does not hunt. She waits. Charybdis is less seen, but no less feared. Once a daughter of Poseidon, Charybdis was cursed by Zeus for flooding lands in her father's name. He chained her to the sea floor and made her hunger eternal. 3 times a day, she swallows the sea, and 3 times, she spits it out, creating whirlpools that drag ships under and never let them rise. Myths and stories involving Scylla and Charybdis. Myth number 1, Odysseus and the Narrow Passage. When Odysseus sailed home from Troy, he was warned: sail too close to Charybdis and lose your ship. Sail too close to Scylla and lose your men. He chose Scylla. 6 of his crew were taken, 1 for each head. But the ship sailed on. It was not triumph. It was cost. Myth number 2, Jason and the Argonauts. The Argo, too, passed between them. With help from the goddess Hera and the sea nymph Thetis, they slipped through the strait. Even heroes need help when the sea decides to close in. Worship and depiction. Scylla and Charybdis were not worshipped. They were feared. They were the sea's warning signs. On maps, they were marked not with altars, but with monsters. In art, Scylla is painted with writhing heads, her lower body twisted with serpent dogs. Her face, sometimes still human, a reminder of what she was. Charybdis, by contrast, is often just a whirlpool, a mouth in the sea, a hunger too vast to shape. Together, they are the nightmare of sailors, the nightmare of choice. And the last one is the phoenix, the eternal firebird, a creature not of destruction, but of rebirth. Most people know the phoenix as a bird that dies and rises from its own ashes. But it is more than a tale of survival. It is the embodiment of cycles, of renewal, of the sacred promise that endings are not always the end. The phoenix symbolizes rebirth and renewal. The phoenix does not resist death. It embraces it. And through that fire, it is born again. No wound is final. No fall is forever. It teaches us destruction can be cleansing. And sometimes, we must burn to begin again. It also symbolizes time and immortality. Unlike gods or mortals, the phoenix is neither timeless nor bound. It lives for centuries, then chooses its moment, its place of rest and resurrection. It is not immortal in the usual sense. It dies, but it never ends. The last thing it symbolizes is hope and endurance. In the darkest hour, when all seems lost, the phoenix rises, not to fight, but to exist again. It is the reminder that no matter how final the ashes seem, the fire is never gone. Origins and lore. The phoenix appears across cultures: Egyptian, Greek, Roman, Persian, Chinese. In Egypt, it was called the Bennu, a sacred bird linked to the sun god Ra, rising from the ashes of the holy tree. In Greece, Herodotus spoke of a radiant bird from the east, living 500 years. When its time came, it built a nest of aromatic wood, set itself ablaze, and from the flame, a new phoenix emerged. The Greeks believed it came from Arabia, where cinnamon and myrrh fed its final fire. No mate, no lineage, only itself, again and again. Myths and stories involving the phoenix. Myth number 1, the self-made tomb. When the phoenix feels death near, it flies to a sacred altar, or to the highest tree. It builds a pyre of spices and branches. It sings, and it burns. What remains is not ruin, but an egg, a spark, a rebirth waiting to happen. Myth number 2, the phoenix and the sun. Some say the phoenix carries the sun each night, and dies with it. At dawn, it rises again, its feathers made of flame, its cry the herald of light. It is not just a symbol of rebirth, it is the promise of morning. Myth number 3, the phoenix and the eternal flame. In Roman tales, the phoenix lived for 1,000 years, and when it died, a new bird carried its father's ashes to the temple of the sun in Heliopolis. Not just rebirth, but remembrance. Legacy passed through fire. Worship and depiction. The phoenix was not worshipped as a god, but revered as a wonder. In art, it gleams in gold and crimson, wings wide, head crowned in flame or haloed by light. It appears on ancient coins, royal emblems, and temples' sacred carvings. Later, in early Christian symbolism, it became a sign of resurrection, of Christ, of faith renewed. The phoenix outlived the myths that birthed it, because it is the myth. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If there's another creature, hero, or tale you'd like us to explore, let us know in the comments. See you next time.